Hello everybody, Zach Butler YGO back with another video. Today I wanted to bring you the K9 control deck that I saw over on X, courtesy of Kazaarus. I've gone ahead and built it and tweaked just a couple little things here and there, mostly in the side deck and some of the non-engine. But I think this deck is really cool. There's some potential here. I don't know how good it's going to be. K9 control isn't necessarily the greatest deck. We haven't really seen it take off in the OCG, but I think there might be a little bit of potential there. So let's just jump right on in and I'll explain as we go. So first up for the engine, you have 3 Izuna. This is going to be very standard in any K9 deck, obviously. Everybody knows what Izuna does. On summon, Foolish Burial is another K9 card, I believe, or just monster card. Besides a copy of itself, and then if your opponent has activated a card effect in the hand or grave, you can special summon this from your hand to do that. Then there's 3 Jokul. Jokul is going to be your starter card for the K9 engine. It lets you reveal itself into level 5, special summon both, and then it can search for a non-Aqua K9 monster. 1 Lantern. This is going to be your follow-up card. It's going to let you special summon back a K9 from your grave, and then 1 Lupus as well, just for the graveyard revival that we all know. From there, we have the 2 K9 spells. We have a Case for K9 for consistency and K9 X Force Release. This card is really solid, lets you rank up, and then of course pop a card. It's really good. Not too much to say about that stuff right there. I think all the K9 stuff is pretty understood. But then for the pairing with it, I've seen Fiendsmith, I've seen all sorts of other stuff, but I really like the Primite cards as well. What the Primite cards offer you is another solid normal summon, which is really good. But they also offer you the Drill Beam and the ability to get another level 5 onto the field whenever you want, which is going to be really good as well. Also, just a recurring threat is always really good in these sorts of high-value decks. And the normal monster that I'm playing is Curse of Dragon, which, shout out to the LOB copy. That's really cool. Now, the reason why Curse of Dragon is played is because it is a level 5, obviously, and it is a dragon, so that's really good. Also, it's a dark, which does matter because I can Bestial it away, which can come up. It kind of just like ticks all the boxes. And I really like the Primite engine here. It just gives you another couple pushes, which is kind of, I think, what the K9 engine itself is lacking, is that other good set of pushes. The Fiendsmith engine does that as well, and we've seen that already have some success in the local level. I personally have seen one of the better players in my locals using it, and he is having a blast, and it seems like he's doing pretty well with it. From there, we have the non-engine, which is the bulk majority of this deck. Look at the stack of non-engine. First up for the Bestials, we have 2 Baldrakes, 1 Magnemite, and 1 Druis Worm. I think that the Bestials are actually in a pretty solid place right now because of the amount of Yummy that's being played, especially in my area. That's I think the most popular deck by far, so it's definitely good to see those. They're also level 6, which does matter because of, I guess I'll just kind of skip ahead, because of the Hop Ear Squadrons. Now, Hop Ear, if you're unfamiliar, lets you target a monster you control during your opponent's turn, special summon Squadron from your hand, and then synchro summon with those 2 monsters. So you can go to level 8s with this, go to level 7s with the K9s, and yeah, it's pretty solid. This is a good way to dodge Rosin Destruction, a good way to dodge an Imperm if they, didn't have a, or they already had it set or something like that, because this deck is really grindy, things like that. Hop Ear Squadron is just really solid. It lets you also play on their turn. It's funny because the name of this deck, when I talk about it, is Our Turn, because you are actually playing on the opponent's turn more. You know how in most decks right now you're using non-engine to allow you to play on your turn? The engine in this deck is actually played so that way you can play on the opponent's turn with your non-engine, which is an interesting way to tackle the format. Then we have the 3 Molcharmy Fuelos for punishing the extra deck summons, but we also have 3 Fantastical Dragon Phantasme in the main deck. Phantasme is in an incredible place right now because of Yummy, as well as even Vanquish Soul. They will link summon at least once usually, so you can get some mileage out of that. But then to continue that, we also have 3 Rescue Ace Impulse, as well as 1 Fire Attacker. This is just going to be really good. If your opponent uses a monster effect on the field, you can attribute the Impulse to summon the Fire Attacker from your deck, and then if they add from deck to hand, you can draw 2 and discard 1, which is pretty insane. Then the last of the non-engine is 2 Delta, a Gamma, and a Driver, as well as the Triple Tactics Talent. Now, the side frames get extra mileage because of the Hop Ear Squadron. You can actually use Hop Ear alongside Driver to make sure that the Driver doesn't get banished, and I am playing Lambda as well, so I will be able to then use the side frames later on. But also, even if they get banished, I am playing Dispatter, so it's totally fine to have cards get banished. It's just really cool, and like I said, it's because you're blinding second, you're totally fine with having these kind of crazy cards in your deck. Then for the extra deck, we have Primate Dragon, Nether Berzelius, Satellite Warrior. If you're unfamiliar with Satellite Warrior, it's a level 10 synchro that takes a tuner and one more non-tuner synchro monsters. On its synchro summon, you can destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of different synchro monsters in your grave. Just up to the number of synchro monsters in your graveyard. And then if it's destroyed, you can special summon back synchro monsters that are warriors, stardusts, or synchrons with different names. Then there's the Dispatter that I mentioned, as well as the Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon and regular Stardust Dragon. And then I'm playing Black Rose Dragon. This is originally Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. However, I found that I think that Black Rose Dragon might be better because it is that full board wipe as opposed to just like a precision board break. The downside to Black Rose Dragon, though, is that it is a when it's synchro summoned, you can destroy the field, so you need to be very careful about that. If you ever summon this as Chainlink 2 or higher, it will miss the timing, so that can be really detrimental. But if you can get around that, it's pretty solid. Then there's Nash Knight, C101, Valon, Ripper, Werewolf, and then Typhon. And then for the 3 links, we have Seal, SP, and Lambda. It's all very straightforward. This is just a toolbox. Honestly, this kind of ties into how I play most of my decks. If you haven't noticed, I try to keep it really simple and low to the ground, and then I just attack with big monsters on my turn. It's been a pretty solid strategy over the years. For the side deck, there's 3 Artifact Lancia. This is going to be for Crystron as well as Malice, of course. I think that the Crystron deck is actually probably the scariest deck in the format right now. So I definitely need to keep Lancia in there. 2 Pankratops. Now, this could actually be alpha. And it's interesting I say that because, no, I don't even think it could be alpha. I don't really know what this could be. The original reason for Pankratops was that I wanted to be able to have something I could summon and just attack with and then pop, tribute to pop. The issue is that generally I will start my turn with more monsters than they do if my deck is getting to play at all. So I'm not totally sure what this slot could be. It could be, heck, it could even be like Kaijus. It could be Lava Golems. It could be Sphere Modes. Who knows? I thought Alpha because maybe you let them go really wide and then you summon Alpha and you have just a big beat stick, but I don't know that that's necessarily even better either. Then there's 1 Duster, 1 Primate Fusion, 2 Dark Ruler No Mores. The other reason, by the way, that there's 2 and 2 is because when you're going second, the odds of seeing a 2 of when you go second is roughly the same. I think it actually might even be the exact same. I don't remember the math off the top of my head, but the odds are almost the exact same as seeing a 3 of when you go first. So you can go ahead and play 2 ofs when you go second. And there's 3 Solemn Strike and 3 Solemn Judgment for when this deck does go first. Just having the 6 Solemns is really good. Keep it really low to the ground. But that is the deck. Like I said, there's not too much craziness going on here. I do think it's a lot of fun, though. If you want to see this deck used, go ahead and let me know down below in the comment section. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe. Make sure to check out Fridays and Saturdays when I'm streaming as well. And let me know what you've been playing that you are enjoying a ton in this format, because this format's really open-ended, and I think there's a lot of potential to explore. But until next time, have a great day.